Morning Show is brought to you by Guardian Protection, your hometown home and business security company. And we are joined right now by Jeff Hathorn, our sports director, and he's brought to us by Gutter Helmet. Save 50% on installation of Gutter Helmet during their fall sale. This month only, 8885 Helmet. Good morning to you, Jeff. We're in it now, baby.
Game week morning. Let's go.
Jeff, what are you most looking to hear from Mike Tomlin today?
We've acquired a wide receiver. No, I mean, I kind of want to get a feeling for him. Just, I want to hear confidence, which I probably will. I want to hear him kind of explain how far they've come with their offense. I mean, it's that type of things I want. I mean, you're going to hear the cliches, like you know what you're going to hear when you get in there. And there's really, other than what he says about Seumalo, there's not an outstanding real position other than maybe Beanie Bishop at slot. I mean, most of the other things, again, other than Seumalo, are pretty much set.
Is it going to be Spencer Anderson, you think?
Yes.
So,
yeah, I don't have doubt about that.
One career snap for good old Spencer Anderson. Now, I know he was up on the active roster and active on game day, I think, for 8 games last year. Do you think that's the right call by them?
Well, I think it's the one. I think he's the best option for them. I think if Herbig is healthy, you would have slid him over to guard and put Frazier in at center, but you don't have that option. It was interesting. We talked to Anderson yesterday, and in college, I mean, he played every position. But he said when he first got moved into guard, he was like, man, I'm a tackle. Like, you want to be a tackle. Like, there's some gravitas that comes with tackle. And then he said as he moved inside and started playing guard more, he's like, the guys that go up against a guard are kind of like-bodied guys to me. Like, there are no T.J. Watts at guard. There are no guys with crazy freak athletic speed like a Nick Herbig at guard. So he said he started to get into it, and really this offseason, into Steelers voluntary work and into mandatory work as well, he's been primarily a guard.
Now, I saw a video of Troy Fautanu out there yesterday. If he had been healthy this whole time, do you think there might have been a chance they'd have had him play at guard?
No, I don't. He hadn't worked it at all. I think they see him as a starting right tackle and Broderick over on the left. I don't know when that's going to happen, but no, I don't think. Listen, Spencer Anderson's a guy they liked. 7th round pick last year, and once they got him into practice, the more and more they liked him. So I'm not saying he's a long-term solution there necessarily, sure. But I think he's a guy that I think this would have been Anderson anyway, even if Fautanu was healthy.
Do you think if Fautanu had been healthy the whole time, that even because of the Seumalo injury, we would still see Broderick Jones on the right and Dan Moore on the left? Because you would have so much inexperience with the Seumalo injury.
Yeah, it's a good point. And I think that's one of the hidden things with the Seumalo injury is, Dan Moore was saying last week, hey, finally, I've got the same guy at guard for 2 years in a row, and it's an experienced guy, and he was feeling good about the fact that they had a relationship where they didn't even have to talk, like they knew what each other could do. Now you put, Anderson, or we put somebody else into that mix, and that affects Moore. That affects, a rookie center who doesn't have that experienced guy to his left. So I think those things do impact it. So I do think you would have probably seen more. Like, you don't want to disrupt too much on that left side, even though they think Broderick Jones is the left tackle of the future.
Jeff Hathorn joining us here on the Fan Morning Show. Jaylen Warren says he's good to go on Sunday, and, well, it's Tuesday now, so we'll see how this all plays out. Still going to need to practice this week. Do you expect a regular workload for Jaylen Warren?
Yeah, he went through individual drills yesterday. He said he will be in team practice tomorrow. That'll be the big one. Can he get through team practice? I mean, it's not a ton of hitting, but he's going to have to make cuts. He's going to have to do things that you don't do in individual. So how he makes it out of there. But mean, you're watching him do individual yesterday, and you would have no idea that he's got a hamstring injury. So it looks good. Let's see how he makes it through tomorrow. But, man, I mean, listen, this guy combined for over 1,100 yards last year. To miss that out of the offense, that's a blow, especially for, a brand new offense. He's your home run hitter. You want that in the lineup.
Would it be more surprising than not now if Cam Hayward got a new contract, Jeff?
I mean, it's not that we haven't seen the last week contract before. We've seen it a couple of times. So I'm still not ruling out the fact that both those guys could get new contracts. It's taken a while. I do think the Ayuk situation held it up. And there seems to be no, like Cam is still, publicly throwing out, hey, I want to be a Steeler. And is that just him last minute negotiating? Is that just him expressing his feelings? I still think the Steeler organization values a guy that's been around and done the things he's done that long, if they could work on a final number. And I do think they'll figure out something with Freiermuth. I mean, Freiermuth's probably going to be their number 2 receiver this year.
I would think so as well. And Freiermuth may or may not have dragged me on Twitter this weekend, Jeff. I don't know if you saw that. He was excited about it. He and Beanie had a little bet. Hopefully Beanie didn't get over his skis being just an undrafted rookie. Yeah, I hope Beanie's not out a game check or anything like that, because then he might have trouble paying rent. And I think from now on, if it ever happens again, because we might not see it in our lifetime, I'm probably going to talk a little less junk on Penn State. I think that might be a good move moving forward, Jeff. I did want to ask you about the Pitt game, though. Oh, go ahead. No, I was just going to say this. Freiermuth gets it. He's fun. Like, He could play around a little bit on Twitter, and it's not like super serious. He's a guy that you kind of love to see on Twitter because, okay, this is just part of a game for him. I'm with you on that. I think he's a really good guy. Jeff, Pitt puts up 55 points. Eli Holstein is the guy, and Cade Bell, I thought the offense clearly looked different. If you had to slap a grade on that performance, what would you give it? Yeah, I would say A-. I mean, there are a couple of drop picks, so there's some things to work on. I mean, if you're getting really, picky about it. Sure. But they didn't have procedure penalties. I thought Eli Holstein seemed to be in complete control of that offense. He ran it well. That first drive, there was no incompletions. And the thing about Eli is he threw to spots. It looked like he's not a pro quarterback, but he looked like that in the sense that it didn't matter who the receiver was. He had complete trust in all of them, and he didn't wait for them to go open. He was throwing to a spot because he expected them to be open, and he made good throws. I mean, some throws, even the one down to Kenny Johnson, people said, well, if you let it a little bit more, it would have been a touchdown. But he also threw in a spot where it couldn't have been intercepted. It was a really nice catch, but a good throw by Eli. Now, that being said, Pitt doesn't play in the MAC, and they don't play basement teams in the MAC all the time. So they're going to take a step up in Cincinnati. Let's see how this kid does on the road. Cincinnati's typically a tough road venue, and then obviously they've got West Virginia next week. Well, there's something Pitt does that I really wish my guys would do, and that's play the MAC team first. Darn it! Like get it out of the way. Figure out what you got, what you like, what you don't like, and then start playing the big boys. And that's what Pitt's doing as the competition, does step up against Cincinnati on the road this week. Jeff, it's so good to be able to talk real, legitimate football with you, man. And I can't wait to preview Steelers-Falcons on Thursday, buddy. Talk to you then. All right, pal. Jeff Hathorn, our sports director.